Well, now that all the cutscenes are out of the way, we can kind of, get control over the game again. And as you can see, there's apparently a meteorite heading for Earth, and there was apparently someone within Team Magma who is also not a Team Magma member. Lots of interesting things kind of happening now. So, obviously, we're kind of thrown into a sort of new story that it's not as long, but it's definitely something that takes place after the main story of the game. So in a way, there's like a main story, side story, and then post-game type of thing. And we're going to be going through the side story, quote unquote, as we, kind of just get started after the Elite Four, of course. So the name of this side story is called the Delta episode, as I'm sure you all saw. This is one of the most interesting things I think I've ever actually played in any kind of Pokemon game, and the reason for this is, well, when we get to it, there's a huge kind of like spoiler thing about it, and whenever we get around to it, I'm actually going to kind of take some time to kind of talk about it, because it's actually pretty cool how they actually went about and, did it. Anyways, as you already have seen through the, like the prior kind of like cutscenes and whatnot, this is Zinnia. She is a new character introduced into this game. The thing is her Whismur has a I think its name starts with an A. I can't remember off the top of my head. I never really pay much attention to its name. But Zinnia, I'm pretty sure it is because Zinnia's name starts with a Z. I'm not sure if anyone who's played X and Y knows where this is going, but the first letter of both of their names kind of forms out a Z. So anyone that's actually already played through X and Y will understand what I'm talking about. For anyone who doesn't, well, it's not exactly a spoiler because I haven't informed you about what AZ really stands for, so it's not that big a deal. And if you don't want to be spoiled for it, then you'll be spoiled for it whenever we actually get around to it, which is probably not going to be till maybe either later this year or even sometime next year. And even then, I might actually end up doing that alongside some other game, just because by then X and Y is going to be really old. So I don't know. I feel like I should have done that with this Let's Play now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed as of late. Anyways, as you saw, there was some mention of Petalburg, so obviously we have to come here, and coming here we see that, Team Magma waifu, Bae, whatever you want to call her, Courtney is here, and she's kind of starting trouble with Wally, and I'm not sure if you're seeing a pattern here, of course, but both Brendan and Wally have keystones, which are required for Mega Evolution. So Mega Evolution is kind of taking a huge part in this whole little side story. Kind of does, regardless, all the way up until the very end. So, I mean, why not? I found this kind of ironic, by the way. I actually forgot that it was in the lead for a second, and the very Pokemon they were trying to wake up and control happens to be right in front of them, in primal form and in full force. And that's the other thing too. They ask, well, not ask, she's kind of demanding that you hand over your keystone. Well, two things. One, I don't particularly need it. I have Primal Groudon, which does not require a keystone. And then two, I have the very Pokemon that you were looking for, yet you're not demanding it. Okay, why not? I don't know. It just makes no sense. I mean, you would think that the game could somehow be coded to, like, register within itself that it knows that you either A, caught it, or B, killed it. And I don't know. It just seems like, it would kind of make things a little bit more interesting story-wise. But I guess coding it could also be kind of a problem. So I don't know. Anyways, once we're done with him, and as you're about to see, we're about to receive a call on our Pokegear, Pokenav, whatever. We're going to be receiving a call from Steven. And he's going to be kind of asking us to go all the way to Rustboro City because he needs to talk to us about something that's very important. Now, of course, through the cutscenes we already have found out that there's a meteorite coming towards Earth. So, take a wild guess as to what he wants to talk about. So we have to go and kind of talk to him about it. And they're going to kind of go into a little bit more detail about how they're going to deal with it, considering now that it's already on course to Earth. Obviously we have to kind of worry about how we're going to go about dealing with it, and they kind of have their own little ideas to how they might go about dealing with it. And this, believe it or not, ties in with what I was talking about earlier, where there's something really interesting that they actually tie into this that makes it very unique compared to a lot of the other Pokemon games. So, yeah. And sorry if it sounds like I'm like losing, or not losing, but like running out of breath. It's because I'm trying to kind of keep talking and at the same time, you know, trying to keep things rolling, I guess is a good way to put it. But we didn't particularly just come here to talk to Steven. We came here to talk to his father, who is the, you know, head of the corporation, of course. And they're going to kind of have a little bit of a banter back and forth. It's kind of hilarious. I actually, every time I've seen it, I've kind of laughed. Watching Steven's face when he gets pissed off. It's absolutely great. He just gets really angry at his father. It's just absolutely fantastic. I get a laugh out of it every time I see that. You rarely ever see characters get angry like that, especially when it's in a newer Pokemon game, because then it's kind of a bit more detailed, I guess. I don't know. But I do like this music, by the way, and as I mentioned before, AZ was referenced in Zinnia, and I think its name was Aster or something like that. The thing is, they mentioned his little creation, which again kind of ties into a bit of spoilers, but his creation is actually mentioned here, and yeah, they plan on using something very similar to do a lot of different things. You're basically creating what is known as infinity energy. So the submarine that was stolen, that we ended up having to go and kind of track down and whatnot, that runs off of this, and they're also working with the Moss Deep Space Center to utilize things like that for like space travel, exploration through space, stuff like that. So that's what we get to deal with. So, I mean, I don't know. All I know is we need to get meteorite shards, which is going to require us to go to Granite Cave in Dewford City, or Dewford Town, I guess, whatever. Cool part is if you fly, I think you can both fly or soar to it. So if you happen to have, you know, either or, you can just go directly to it. I know you can through soaring, because we ended up doing it in like the next, like, I don't know, maybe not 10 seconds, but maybe like 15 seconds max. But yeah, you can get there pretty easily. Just you can go to it directly if you want to. Otherwise, yeah, you can just drop by in Dewford and just walk a little bit west to it. So it's not a big deal. But that's basically all you need to do, at least, you know, to get where you need to be. And once we get there, we're going to have to go back to the area where we first met Steven, which is kind of funny. And another thing that's, you're going to see more than one ironic part with Groudon in this entire episode. The first already being against, you know, Team Magma and Courtney, because they were trying to get the Pokemon. And they just didn't demand it. They just preferred my Keystone all of a sudden. Like, really, you could easily just go back to your crappy little plan to expand the land and kill everyone while you're at it. Or you can just ask for my Keystone, and, I mean, really? And from what I can gather, Keystones don't seem to be particularly special, other than the fact that they allow you to resonate with your Pokemon's Megastone. So, I don't know. It seems like there's a whole bunch of them out there, and what... Anyways, as you can see, there's a familiar face here. Instead of Steven, we run into Zinnia again. So, she's going to go through a bit of dialogue here, and she's kind of a very interesting Pokemon. A very interesting person. She kind of has this, I don't know if I want to say philosophical type of personality or something, but she's like deeply tied. It's really weird to like say it like that, but she's kind of like deeply tied into everything. At least whenever it comes to everything that we're dealing with right now, she's really deeply tied into it. It feels like there's invisible threads all kind of leading back to her, because she seems to be there whenever it's relevant. And as you can see, she had something sparkly on her leg, which I guess it really isn't all that relevant right now. For anyone who's played X and Y, fun note, AZ kind of had something similar on his leg. So it's been kind of like heavily speculated. I don't know if there's been any confirmation, and I'm sure the Pokemon like themselves aren't going to actually confirm it. But there's a good chance that she might be actually like blood related to AZ, which is pretty cool as well. So, like I said, the second ironic thing, the painting in the background depicts Groudon going primal, you know, just being massively destructive. It's kind of sitting right here in front of the painting, so I mean, it's like, oh hey, you're depicting me destroying everything. Oh, look at that. Is that really me? You know, just like, you can kind of just imagine Groudon staring at the painting going, what? Like, who the hell did this? Like, I don't know. He's probably just thinking to himself, I was enraged, that's why I was expanding things without even trying. This one person just absolutely pissed me off, and I don't know, like, why do these people think I'm going to kill everything or something? I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. But, I mean, the more relevant thing here, obviously, being that we need the Meteorite Shard, and we also get challenged by Zinnia, who has a pretty simple team. Tyrantrum, Altaria, and of course Salamence as her ace. We battle her a couple times. I think it's either 3 or 2. I don't really remember. I think it's almost positive it's 3. It's kind of weird though. At the beginning of the battle, she acts a little bit crazed, but she's actually quite normal. So it's like, are you Yandere? For anyone who's anime, you know, lingo familiar or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, she's kind of got that weird yet crazy, like that calm but crazy side to her. I don't know, it's just weird, but whatever. She's actually a really cool character regardless. And like I said, she has a very level head. She really like looks at you and goes, you know, are you sure that this is something you need to be involving yourself in? Because she feels like she can take care of whatever she needs to take care of. So, I don't know. She's a really cool character, something definitely different that, you know, and I'm sure everyone just heard that. My friends on Skype, absolutely fantastic. And, someone was asking for my Skype in the last episode. I do have it, but I don't really give it out to people. Just throwing that out there, I don't do that. Not because I don't like people, it's just because I use it for personal friends and stuff. Just throwing that last little bit of information out there. I don't know if they're actually going to watch all the way to 14 minutes, but if you do, that's my answer. So, and too much soda drinking before this, no bueno, because kind of, I guess, bloated. I don't know, kind of gassy, whatever. So the next thing that we have to do is make our way back to Moss Deep again. Thing is, we don't have any time left, so we're just gonna get ready to go into the Space Center, which is where we need to go for the next little bit of the Delta episode. We should have this done within the next 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know, but yeah. Well, I'm kind of hoping, because there's a few tricky things that we need to do. It's probably gonna be like 3 or 4 episodes, but whatever. Anyways, in the next episode, we're going to continue through the Delta episode, and hopefully we can get pretty far into it, because, well, I think we're not too far off. But, yeah, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer, signing out.